So once again, we got a pretty informative chapter, and certain things that got explained and easy to get explained with how the samurai and Momonosuke are back in time 20 years ago. Obviously, it took place. I guess if you take the timeline into consideration, the ultimate timeline in One Piece, we got so this past month, the month where I guess Kiku has been pretty much working at the tea house. It was 1 month ago our time, or I guess in the Straw Hats time, the current timeline, okay, is where Kinemon, Momonosuke, Konro, and Raizo, and I guess Okiku, I guess set back in time a month ago in the current timeline, but 20 years ago for the rest of the samurai. So I think that's how it works itself out. So start off with the cover page, and good on Oda. We're finally focusing on other things. In this case, it's the Straw Hats. Sanji getting hugged by Nami, and I guess it's in Dream World because you got Sanji being hugged by Nami. But Zoro's case, you got Zoro just, I guess, kicking Sanji aside. And if you notice where Sanji's being hugged, he's got a bump on his head. And if you also notice in Zoro's dream, Sanji's been he got sent flying. So that was a great way to start the cover stories, figure out how that came to be. So the samurai kind of explained that Momonosuke's father was actually a pretty decent guy until he decided to pick a fight with a man known as Ajira Doji. Now, I cannot be the only one thinking when I heard that, I was like, that's got to be foreshadowing. Okay, Ajira Doji, a name of a technique that happens to be a part of Zoro's repertoire. I have my suspicions, the fact that I'm assuming he was the former shogun before then, because why would he pick a fight with? We also come to find out that Ajira Doji has some type of connection to Orochi, because that would, I'm calling it right now, I think the shogun's going to fight with Zoro. It's not going to be Jack, it's going to be Zoro, because it looks kind of like Zoro. And I said this before, I think it would turn the arc upside down because there's too much of a plot convenience to go against the Straw Hats. There was a mention of a 2-week timeline. I don't think Kaido's going to wait that long. I don't think Jack's going to wait that long. And I sure as hell don't think the Shogun Orochi is going to wait that long. Robin's by herself, so she had no... she doesn't... Does she know of the plan? Does Frankie know the plan? Does Usopp know of the plan? I don't think so. Robin's doing her own thing. She's trying to get information on the Rock Poneglyph with connection to... by infiltrating the Flower Capital with the direct capital of the Shogun Orochi, okay? And that is where pretty much Oden was pretty much executed. It's not a coincidence that this man Ajira Doji named after another technique from Zoro. I think he has some connections to the current Shogun Orochi. So obviously 20 years ago he took him down and he ruled over Kuri or Wano, and he said it was too cramped here, so that is funny because while this has been told to everybody, you got Zoro and Kamino looking on from far, because obviously Zoro's lost. He's like, oh, I guess everybody else got lost while I was riding convenient. How convenient? How convenient that Zoro just happens to be disappeared while this is being explained to everybody else. I think Zoro, as crazy as it sounds, I made this prediction in my first discussion of Wano after chapter 909. I think Zoro's going to be captured. Because number one, he's wanted, and does Kinemon know that Zoro has a wanted poster? Because Law knew, he knew. So I find it very convenient that Zoro just happens to be away from everybody else. It delays obviously the Straw Hat reunion, which we're going to get anyway. Not all the crew's there. We're going to get that once Robin and Frankie and Usopp rejoin the crew. Robin's doing a home thing, like I said. Zoro's lost, so this makes perfect sense. The Team Wano and Team Whole Cake Island have not reunited yet. So that will happen before the end of the year. I bank on it. So while this story is also... So we see Zoro, and he says there's a war. So it looks like I guess a hideout or also someone's household. So I guess we'll see in the next chapter. Unfortunately, we got 2 weeks away because we're on break next week. So goes to the beach on Curry, and it's the same beach that Luffy and Sunny ended up going on. I'm assuming, we don't know. By the way, what the hell happened to Sunisha? So I guess Sunisha just landed him off for a ride, and then just like, yep, I'm out, peace. Zoe was also mentioned in this flashback. Like Sunisha bumped into Kinemon, Kadra, and Momonosuke. They were kind of shipwrecked. They didn't have a navigator, so they were sucked, which kind of makes it even more stupid that they tried to get out of Wano on sea. And I guess that's how Zoe ties itself into. That's how the samurai got separated in the first place. Started to get separated. So we see Inuyasha. We haven't seen Nekomamushi yet. The Musketeers as well. So they're on. So they're on Curry or Wano as well. Surprise, surprise, obviously. So everybody else tearing up, telling the story of what happened to Odin and his family. Kaido, and I guess the current shogun at that time, knew of their plan. So in preparation, they burned it down, which had the mother and the sister, which we kind of find out early. Now, I'm going to mention something in a minute, but obviously it says they got stuck in the fire, and I guess they refused to leave. So, why? I don't know. It's just like, take care of Momonosuke, Lady Toki, and I guess Lady Kazuki Mother Toki. So I guess this is why. And I find it ironic that their appearance is kind of like silhouetted. I'm not going to make any assumptions to say I think I have something when it comes to like the identity, but all I'm going to say is the silhouette that we see of Toki is very reminiscent to the one we saw with Ima-sama. That's all I'm going to say. Look at the hair, okay? And the fact that she's has some affiliation on time. In fact, her name is Toki, right? Time, no me ability. So she has a time devil fruit. That's how Kinemon, Kondra, Momonosuke, Raiza, and Akiku were sent back in time, as long as the other three retainers. They were sent back in time to so that what's going on. They were sent 20 years into the future, or the current timeline. And like I said at the beginning, in the current timeline, a month has passed. If you follow the series of events, like the separation of the crew, the meeting on Punk Castle with Kinemon, going to Dressrosa, meeting with Conjuro, going to Zoe, 10 days later, meeting Rise. So the time ability, hopefully this will be the only time the time travel is introduced into One Piece. So Lady Toki is dead, right? What we don't know, and this was never explained in the chapter, and this is where I got the suspicions, considering if you notice the appearance and the fact that both of them are silhouetted, I'm like, why? If they're dead, what's the point in keeping their appearance a secret? I think the reason is, I think one of those characters has a huge connection of what's going to happen in the future of One Piece. I could be wrong on that, because why would they have Lady Hiyori if she's dead, which we again was never mentioned in this chapter. I think she's alive, and she is. She could be a part affiliate with the world government as Ima-sama, or it could be something completely different. Hiyori is still alive. It would make sense given the age. Because think about this, okay? If she was the same age as Momonosuke, she would still be a kid. But let's say, for instance, that if she is Ima-sama, that would correspond with how she knows so much about time, and given the appearance, she's fully grown up at this point. So that makes a whole lot of sense. So that's just my opinion. I could be dead wrong on that, but let me know what you guys think down below. But I just find it very suspicious that both their appearance, if they're both dead, why have they been silhouetted? So unless we're going to find out something in the future, no pun intended. Hey, look at the shading and the facial expression. I'm not saying it's Ima-sama, but it looks very reminiscent. So we will definitely take down Orochi and Kaido. So that's the declaration of war. It's literally stated in this chapter. So they get sent back 20 years in the current timeline. We see Okiku clearly, and then they come to meet 3 other retainers. I guess they're the retainers that we didn't get that were unnamed. So 20 years after that incident, they met they met into the Straw Hats and everything that took place. While the story's going on, if you noticed while this is going on, and I didn't notice during my live reaction, but while you see the food cart, you see that could be the Ukabura town. If it is, that means Jack's boys, because we clearly see a Zoan type attacking that village, and I'm guessing the food cart that was given to everybody, because you see residents being killed, been taken out. So either that food was poisoned after all, or Kaido and his boys are showed up on the Ukabura town. I just found that very interesting. So I guess it bumps into Kinemon, Momonosuke, Rise Up, Kanjuro, and Okiku, kind of thinking that the retainers of Lady Toki, they're willing to pick up the fight for their sake to take down Kaido and Orochi. So we see the other two. I guess we see the 3 others as well. So I guess that kind of makes up for 9, technically. Because if you take the current 5 that we have in Okiku, Kanjuro, Momonosuke, Raizo, and Kinemon, right? You have the other 4 that we've gathered together in secret. Nobody can know what we're planning. Okay, so and this is where we find out about Okiku. We entrusted Okiku with gathering intel on the enemies. Okay, so like I said, in the current timeline, a month has passed since they were sent back in time when they arrived in 20 years into the future, right? At that point, this is the only time it makes sense, because Okiku at that point worked at the tea house alongside Suru, and obviously met into Atama. Not a coincidence at all. While this is taking place, the events of Kinemon, Momonosuke, Kanjuro, and Raizo have been mentioned. At that same time, Okiku was gathering intel, fighters about Kaido, Devil Fruit users. That's how she knows so much about the headliners. It's for that very reason. So, and she also knows about Jack. So because she has to know about this, because they're declaring war in 2 weeks. I guess that's the 20th anniversary of where this took place. So otherwise, why would they wait? It doesn't make any sense to me. We get the panel where they bumped into Zunisha, I guess, or how the hell did Kaido know, or the Shogun knew that Raizo was on Zunisha? That's another thing, because it's pretty much they were trying to do this within secrecy. So, we know how Don Flamingo chased after Momonosuke Kinemon. They fled Dressrosa. That's how Don Flamingo knew about Momonosuke. Obviously, then they got separated again on Punk Hazard, where Kinemon and they'll get cut up by law. We see the whole thing about where they bumped into the dragon. Obviously, that was Kinemon connected to that dragon, so that's where everything took place. So, and that was a month ago in the current timeline. If you keep following at that point, so that makes sense. So we have the panel of all the allies that are working with the samurai, the Ninja Pirate Alliance. We have Nekomushi, Inarashi, Law, obviously Luffy at the forefront. We got Zoro. So we need to be 5,000 strong, but we're not. However, waging a war is not our intention. They have to keep it on the down low. Stated, our goal is to gather information in complete secrecy, take the head commander's head. So that explains why Usopp and Frankie are pretty much infiltrating Flower Capital as well, or in Curry. You know what Robin's intentions are. She's obviously trying to get information on the World Poneglyph in the same district as the Shogun Orochi. Can't be a coincidence either. The plan will commence in 2 weeks' time on the night of the Fire Festival. So that, I'm guessing that's like I said, it's the anniversary when the castle got burned down. We will commence the raid on Onigashima, and there the conflict will commence. The war on Wano will begin, even though I'm pretty sure the war's already taken place. But you get the idea. And where Kaido resides, you see Luffy smiling. Law's like, yeah, this is going to end badly. But case in point, the fact that Zoro's not there, and obviously we're on break next week. So explanations, I just gave you mine. We still need to get. We never got the confirmation about Hiyori's death, the sister of Momonosuke. That's news to us. The fact that time travel, it kind of explains itself with the Devil Fruit. I should have seen this coming. A lot of people should have if they didn't. With the time no Mi, the Toki no Mi. So all in all, sets up the conflict, the grand conflict that's going to take place within the year. Obviously, we know who's on which side. And like I said, I find it very ironic that Zoro is absent from all of this because he's the only one with a wanted poster that's kind of made trouble already. So, well, let me know what you guys think down below. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys.